Why do we give passes to predators as long as they look a certain way, especially in the black community? If a predator looks a certain way, we tend to look the other way, like, oh, it's not that big a deal. We give them cool nicknames like Cougar. That's still a predator. But we ignore that because the predator looks a certain way. It has a certain skin condition. B-dubs love taking up predators that look like them. And a lot of them are some of the biggest predators in the neighborhood. Go back to the youth, and you hear about that uncle who's known for molesting younger relatives. We would have the wiggy making excuses for him. In that case, when it was a dude, who's running interference, who's covering for it? The B-dub. Then in situations where it's actually that the black woman, she must have went through this, she must have went through that. There must be a reason why she's doing it. All sorts of BS excuses. R. Kelly being in Chester, allegedly, supposedly. I say allegedly, supposedly only because they, technically, if you look at it, they really got him on double jeopardy. But that's, it could be his karma coming back to get him. You never know. It is what it is. But allegedly, R. Kelly would get drugged through the mud. He's a pimp, he's this, he's that. But a lot of you heifers still went to him, though, asking for favors, giving favors. But that's neither here nor there. And you look at Jada and the whole Alcina thing, she was the predator in that situation. She's the one been stepping out on her marriage, being unfaithful to her husband, taking vows that obviously didn't mean shit to her. There's not enough room to stand next to her. Her ego takes up too much space. You want to talk about a narcissist, her picture should be planted right next to the word in Webster's dictionary. And you want to say, oh, you can't control who you fall in love with. That might be true. But your common sense and logic side should step up sooner or later. Be like, you know what, I can't, this woman is not good for me. You can't get your time back, and that's exactly what Will was wasting. But this is the choice he made. Allowing a predator to run rampant. Supposedly, Alcina was a friend of the family, was ill, mentally ill, whatever. So, because he's mentally ill, she was taking what is the intimacy, sexual prescribe that to solve his ailment. This predator wife. But it's okay because she looks a certain way. She's a B-dub, so we're going to pretend none of these things happen, and we're going to look the other way because of how she looks. But the same B-dubs that are doing that and saying that are quick to point the finger at people like Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, because those predators look different. So since those predators look different, there's no reason to protect them. So let's attack them. Let's point them out every chance we get. This is the thinking of the modern day B-dub. The supporter of feminism and the leaders and the henchmen of hating black men. Why don't they have the same energy and quick trigger fingers to point out when one of their own is the predator? Because I think deep down, psychologically, they all want to be. They all had that predator thought process within them at some point in time. Why else would you use a blind eye to that? Show a blind eye to that? Just based off of how she looked. She has a permanent suntan, so it's all right for her to be a predator. But if you don't look like that, let me point out the BS very quickly. The hypocrisy is sickening. And anybody going along with it must eat Dumbo gumbo on a normal basis. But like I say, it must be okay. For some predators to thrive. Even she said, he was a friend of the family. She's talking about the Alcina dude. He's mentally ill and he needs help. I'm gonna be there for him. So your version of being there for him is jumping in bed with him? And things like this is just, it's sad things like this is overlooked in the black community, especially by B-dubs. They are the leaders in this shit. Call the shit what it is. Jada is a motherfucking predator. A sexual predator. She's the reason her marriage is failing. She's the reason she's basically driving her husband Will crazy to where he's doing stupid shit. Running up on Chris Rock over a joke. Call that shit what it is. He allowed her to get away with so much, stressing himself out, letting it grow and fester until it manifests into some fuck shit. And now he want to be all regretful and more remorseful. You allowed a predator to thrive in your own household. The chaos and dysfunction she brings, you allowed it. And now it's grown to this mega beast that you can't even control. If Will Smith want to save himself, he needs to leave Jada. There needs to be consequences for B-dubs who are predators. The same way they so quick to point to other predators that don't look like them. Fingers need to be pointed at them. They need to be held accountable finally. Because this is not something new. This has been going on for decades. The whisper in the corner. That's what I call it. You know, they want to talk about the uncle who's a molester, and they want to, you know, whisper loud about that, hoping somebody will have a prying ear and will want to talk about that someday. But the real whisper in the corner is the B-dub, who's been a predator all these years, and nobody has said or done anything. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section. If you like my content, support the channel. Cash App, cobraclutch357. And once again, why do certain predators in the black community get a pass based on how they look? It's been going on for decades. And it's a problem. And it needs to be addressed, and it needs to be stopped. You've seen it on the national stage at the Grammys. Boiled to its breaking point. In the streets on other levels, it boils to its breaking point too, but in a different way, in a more lethal way. But it starts that B-dub being a predator and protecting other predators that look like them, and pointing out other predators that don't look like them. The ultimate deflection method. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Holler at y'all later. You know what the Blizzard always say. Take it how you want to take it. Fuck it.